What is up, guys? Here we go again. Doing the yellows and the lunar items. I don't know if I will read these four just because they're utility, I mean they're equipment, but they're also lunar items at the same time, so I don't really know which one to count it as. They are in this section, but again, they are equipment. But yeah, let's continue with the yellows. The key is incredibly simple. A stone crescent, with little discernible detail to the naked eye. But if one looks closer, with a sight beyond sight, they may notice the patterns inscribed on the key's being. The patterns tell many things. The key function to unlock a lost trove of abandoned treasure. The key's creator, two brothers, one composed of ambition and the other compassion. The key's hopes infused into the key deep within its core, and a memory of better times, and the hope that one day perhaps things could be better again. The key's reality, the bitter realization that such a reality exists only in the past. Yeah, Caitlin, let me know if you copy. I copy, what's up? I made friends, I don't know. What? The giant bug we killed earlier? Well, the corpse seemed to attract a bunch of nasties. I was on my way to clean them up when I realized they were waiting. Confused, maybe. Anyways, I was walking up to them to get rid of them, and strangely enough, they seemed passive. The same bugs that gave me the concussion yesterday, and... What? Are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. Anyways, I felt bad killing them since they seemed all inert and such. So I was just kinda left, and they've been following me ever since. Real weird. Anyway, I guess I've made some friends. I wonder what they eat. Do they eat? Since they don't have any mouths that I... Rich, stop. Please don't bring them back to camp. I could, Junior, stop. Leave your brother alone. This will be my third attempt at dissection of an imp organ. First attempt resulted in rupture. Second attempt resulted in rupture. Cutting into the outer layer produces copious amounts of fluid discharge. As the fluid flows, the rest of the organ inexplicably swells. Swelling will ultimately result in violent rupture. Maybe use of the stemming tools on the BDC-3 to successfully proceed with incident. Surprised to find sharp needle point objects, bones inside. Time stamping for a break. Came back to leave some final notes. Third attempt aborted after I injured my hand. Eventually I was able to stop my own bleeding. The organ seemed to contain immense anticoagulant properties. Using UB2 due to temperatures above safe levels, removing molten enamel and placing it aside for substance analysis. It's solid yet swimming. Upon structural investigation, found cavities in internal chambers. Reduced lab temperatures by 10 degrees. Heat generating veins present. Fire is being supplied to the tooth. Removed my lab coat. Very hot. Heat generation is still occurring in the severed object. Put some more ice in my drink. Wow, it's hot. Time stamping for break. Hold on, I want to see if these are the same technicians. Heat sink. Bro, it says Professor... Nah, it's just different people. Okay. All these are different people so far. From initial inspection, neural seems to be comprised of non-metallic substances. No marks are left when neural is rubbed against test surface. We inspect hardness of neural. We managed to chip some of the neural away, showing us the neural was tough but granular. Individual fragments could be removed with little effort. The fragment is moving. Appears to be trying to rejoin the mass. Out of curiosity, I let it move freely. It slides along the table up to the neural and deposits itself back to its original position. The seam lines fade and the neural is back as it had been minutes ago. I test for magnetic properties in the rock. None are found. Neural's regenerative properties are documented, but are unexplained at this moment. Nail is slowly moving off the table as I write it. As I write this. Oh, actually, he was the same technician, actually. Using GEC4 due to electricity above safe levels. Removing charged enamel and placing aside for substance analysis. It's solid, yet swimming. Upon structural investigation, found cavities and internal batteries. Reduced lab electricity by 10 kilowatts. Electron generating veins present. Charge is being supplied to the tooth. Removed my lab coat. Very staticky. Electrons generating is still occurring in the severed object. Put some more ice in my drink. Wow, it's electric. Time stamping for dance break. Ah, it's electric. Boogie woogie woogie woogie. Genus loop is highly conductive organ. Contains conductive filaments stretching from one end to the other. Both sides of the loop have organelles at end. One has positive charge, one has negative charge. Sticking ends of the loop together generate voltage. Connect loop and fed organ 50 volts. Hair stood up on end. Touching loop resulted in numbness of fingers, upping voltage to 100 volts. Shooting arcs from organ. Loop shudders and glows brights. Dissonant humming is heard, upping voltage to 200 volts. Bright flash, a large crack as the loop releases a blast that knocks me back. Lights go out. Dissection table hardware damaged by voltage. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Yes, the egg. The grandparent incubates the eggs. And the child? The child lays the eggs. And the egg becomes the parent. Okay? And the parent does what? Takes care of the children. And the grandparent? The grandparent is the youngest? Younger than the child? Yes, but not the youngest. Who is the youngest? The parent. Isn't that something? His influence is dark. I do not blame you for your curiosity, but cleanse yourself of it immediately. It will ruin you and all you care about. Shouldn't this be a fun time? 13006 probe core instant request recognized. 13006 probe core instant overview for stored models. Mining probe instances highlights. This one is very dead and yellow. This one is very bold and green and lonely. This one is very dead and yellow. 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 This one is very cold and red and lonely. Docking cores deployed. Oh, that is strange. That is unlike the other pearls. Do not be mistaken. His influence is still dark despite how beautiful your pearl is. It is not from a place of kindness. It cannot be. The survey team went through a lot of trouble to bring this one back. Fitz was only one left standing. In fact, said he felt great, and the rest are still in the recovery ward. Subject is what appears to be a clay vase. Could this be part of the camouflaging defense mechanism? Inside the vase is a dark gooey substance. Goo can artifact into functioning appendages. Intelligence of subject in manual. At this point, when operating the arm kit, goo attaches to all but one of them. Instability in the arm power system aborts the procedure. Hello, little one. How was your adventure today? Oh, your form is broken, little one. What trickeries have you gotten yourself into? Oh, you tire of adventure? Would you like to help me tend to the garden, my little one? I understand. Oh, your form. Do not worry. Come closer. Here, 2 coils of Denku rope. Those are for strength. Here, 4 cards of obsidian. Those are for self-confidence. I give you nothing for spirit. Oh, do not worry. We will still go on adventures. They will be quite adventures. Quite adventures. Come closer. Come closer now. Closer. Now watch closely. Watch how I tend to our garden. sorry, little brother. What is this? Why is it mishappen and weak? Misshapen. Was there an error in my design? Guardian, come closer. Allow me to see your construction. So I see. These are not correct ratios. This is no minor error, brother. You have purposefully deviated from the design. For what purpose have you done this? You cannot weave a construct from such an abundance of soul. You know it is too unstable. That is too unpredictable and too frail. I have told you this. And yet you have wasted the material I have gathered and exhausted your own strength to fabricate this miscreation. To what benefit? As its best, it can be no more than an inferior servant. It is deficient in the compounds that were to give it fortitude and strength. At its worst, it will betray us. You have created the first being of this world which threatens us. We cannot keep it here. Attempting to destroy it will risk its retaliation. I will prepare one of the vaults for it to be sealed away, while it is still young and naive. What a foolish mistake you have made, brother. I expect you to return the design to me. I cannot allow you to build another construct with so much power, and with so little control. I will build the rest of our gardens by my hand. They will be weak, but at least they will be loyal. Go home, and I will deal with this creature. We can discuss a better project for you when I return. Yes, this is the first lunar item, and I didn't. Here it is. The notes. Fossils, remnants, how cruel. This moon once housed life, life that you may have held dear. Had the timing been right, but our timing was wrong. We were born too late. Now it is just calcium to me, and irrelevant to you. Isn't that right? Gravity concentration. Gravity concentrating, falling inward, condensing, hardening. A singularity shrinks to the point your mind inverts, reversing reality. Now return. Don't the matters of the physical world seem trivial now? Your tasks in the realm are simple and hastened, all in an attempt to get reversed. How many times can you make this trip before you are claimed by its process? Do not let it take you. Take it instead, here. A wretched carnival. They were doomed for a good reason. Doomed people of Aphelia lost in fanatic worship of parasitic influences, Lemurians. Destined to a dead planet, picked clean, chitin beast, and autonomous automations of death. Why do you bring them home? They were not meant to survive. I have watched you for ages, from my dead rock. In every century you disgust me with vanity. You invite vermin into your home. Wretches, rats, monsters, creatures without restraint. Each and every one, planet killers. And yet you entertain them as guests, like children, requiring saving and protection. She should have died for me. Her gift was wasted on you. And when we will open discussion, dear brother, of all your thin lies, why do you forbid your guests to leave, to pilot? Why do you fashion great walls and gates? Why do you weave constructs of distraction in your role? If your role is protection, there are entries in your collection. You slaver, gatekeeper, hoarder. Your death is fated. When you die, and you will die, I will be ready. I've been patient for millennia. This planet is mine. Is this the hoarder? It looks like starseed, canning in dirt. It smells like hot stone and tall grass. It tastes like spiced fruit, sweet and hot. It feels like solar wind, solar chimes. It sounds like two brothers chasing glass frogs in the sun. Pairings. Unstructured glass from the heart of the moon, sung out in ethereal wisps. Over the course of 3 cycles, pause. We fold time into its material. Twice our time and his. A cost he was willing us to pay. Folded and shaped with a god's design, he wields it in one of many great hands. The time we injected it's unfolded in his grasp. Outputs quicken, muscles compressed twice. Twice as many intentions, twice the ordered complexities, unfolded folded upon themselves, loops back onto in pairs. Time-dependent functions pause. He sunders a construct into 1,000 pieces, but time is fair. Micro tears begin to uncoil in pairs. Muscles begin to snap twice as fast. The cost of folded time, but he has plenty of time. And for her betrayal and her lies and her scheming ways, the heretic was violently separated into 4 distinctive pieces, each to be scattered across the furthest depths of the moon. First, her many eyes were plucked from her skulls and sealed into boiling glass, forced to gaze upon her failures. The eversation of Kerr scanned the heretic 3. Her arms were warped into terrible blades, as she may no longer find joy in study or tooling. The evisceration of Kurskan the Heretic 4. And her heart, too wicked and full of hate, was left where she once stood, at the sight of her betrayal. The evisceration of Kurskan the Heretic 6. Did I skip 5? Apparently not. The master of this world is benevolent protector, our savior. Despite the nature of its various inhabitants, he has made a peaceful place here. Peace comes at cost, of course. Some things are strictly forbidden. Above all, there's one item that cannot be tolerated. To possess it is to surely perish. A strange, heavy, and deeply entrancing set of beads that seem to speak with whoever it holds them. To discover them among one's community is to create a dark, rippling panic. It is not long after they are found that Providence, the mighty protector, appears in a thunderous instant to pursue their owner and solemnly take a life he swore to defend. It is no physical property to the beads themselves which provoke such a drastic response, but instead, what they represent. They are a symbol, to carry them in a dark promise to undo the world, to cast to oblivion all people who find their final place here, all in exchange for a doomed return to ruinous way. The elusive, sinister intelligence with whom these beads represent a pact seems known only to the bearer and to Providence himself. One thing, however, is known to anyone who has bore witness to these beads: a cruel, cackling laughter that erupts as blood and coins of favor are spilled, or abruptly silenced as the beads are destroyed. Where they come from isn't known, but should you encounter these beads, you must leave them far, far behind. Never look back. Her legs were scattered to the 2 poles of the moon, twisted in a wicked position in a field of obsidian thorns. The that of Kurstan the Heretic 5. Eversation? The word still. Excerpts from the folktale Heim of Aphocles. Aphocles. Let's say Aphocles. The statue had been carved to the artist's creative vision, beautiful and powerful. Its mighty marble visage shone as radiantly as the moon. However, the common folk did not share the artist's vision. Declaring the statue imperfect, a single laborer took up his gouge and defiled the work, shaping it to his own selfish ideas of beauty. Among his own work, the laborer confidently claimed that he had increased the beauty of the art tenfold. However, the artist did not hear these words. The artist felt only rage. Rage at the laborer who had defiled his masterpiece, and rage at the common folk who lauded the laborer as a hero. And just as the laborer did not recognize the beauty of the untouched statue, so too did the laborer fail to recognize the shards of marble constricting around his leg. The original information under superhighway, the spine, a straight-laced path from the body to the brain. It is responsible for ensuring the survival of all life. However, its limitations involve being localized to its parent body. What if, just like the development of the intercomputer wireless network, one nervous system could communicate with another? What if the spine traced a path not just from body to mind, but a path that intersects between the other bodies and minds? Notes of Job Michaels, serial killer and mad scientist. Oh. Maybell, machine translator. The body is received and placed in a special containment unit. Proper care must be taken to ensure most efficient growth conditions. The seeds are planted in the body. One day passes, flesh softens and stretches. Youth returns to the face, bones harden. Another day passes. Dead skin falls away from the body and muscles gain strength. Hair resumes in its original luster. Another day passes. The flowers have fully bloomed and the body is as good as new. No signs of life, but not necessary. Transcendence. Are you trying your best to survive? You consider yourself a fast learner. You have been feeling lucky. You have been experiencing feelings of deja vu. If you understand, do not read the next paragraph. You are taking control of your own beliefs. You feel familiar in unfamiliar environments. You have been gaining an intuition for experiences you've never had. You ponder a past life. If you understand, do not read the next paragraph. You find yourself searching for things that never have been. You miss things you have never had. You play characters that you have never lived. You have been experiencing feelings of deja vu. If you understand, do not read the next paragraph. You have revealed my hand because you have consumed this information. The observers will now consume it in time. If you are reading this paragraph, I will be long dead, but in turn you have freed me. I will no longer exist in my universe. There will be no proof that I ever was, but I exist now in yours. I've escaped my suffering. Keep me safe. I hope you do not understand. Yeah, I'm just gonna read them. Ignite. We measure the time. 2 ordered composition is settling. I scrape the mixture from the bottom. Uju ignites. We measure the time. 2 smooth. Ratio can be greater. I flatten the mixture. Black ichor of Uju begins to pull around my feet. Risco ignites. I measure the time. I increase the ratio of tetrafoil. I saturate the mixture. Ichor floods the chamber. Ash flutters in the air before settling on the floor. I ignite. He measures my time. Perfect. This relic tells a story, but it is not a fairy tale. It is a tragedy. A story of betrayal, regret, and sorrow. A story of 2. Oh, okay. How the hell do you know that? Maybe it's a story of the brothers. What a particular piece of the stars that serendipity has brought us. I'm sure you can make more. The ratios are simple. It should be quite fun. Reality is whatever the mind decides it to be. Take a sip of the drink, and the mind becomes malleable. From there, you can shape it into whatever form you please, and the world around you follows your example. Sigibold the Drunken. That is it for this one, I guess, since I'm done with that. I'll do the equipment in another one. If one of you are just like, hey, do it, you should put in the comments, just say, hey, do it. Very nice. But that is all. If you like it. If you don't, dislike it. If you want to comment, comment. If you want to subscribe, do that too. That is all. I will see you in the next one. Adios.